Hi, this is Mary. Today is a big day. My earlier video, I showed you the cannoli dough. The second video, I showed you the cannoli shells. Now, I'm going to show you the big thing, homemade ricotta and how to fulfill the cannoli shells. Homemade shells, homemade ricotta, homemade cannolis. Here we go. So simple, a 4-year-old can do it. 2 cups of whole milk. Half cup of heavy whipping cream. To the stove. A little bit of salt. Very little. And a wooden spoon or a whisk. High flame. Now, I showed you the smallest portion you can make. 2 cups of milk, 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream. The way you make it, at the restaurant we made 1 gallon of whole milk and 1 quart of heavy whipping cream. It's 4 parts to 1. 4 parts to 1. So you do here 2 quarts, 2 cups to half a cup. You can do 4 cups to 1 cup. That's 1 quart to 1 cup. Or you can do 1 gallon to 1 quart. Milk to heavy whipping cream. A little bit of salt if you want. This comes to a boil. Now, we're going to wait for this to come to a boil. You have to stir. It's very key on how you're waiting for this to come to a boil. Can't scorch it, can't overflow. Okay? Waiting for this. While we're waiting, I'm going to fast forward. When this comes to a boil, it's going to boil up. We're going to put a little bit of vinegar in it. I'm going to show you that. Once we've done that, we're going to boil it for 2 minutes, and we're going to shut it off. We're going to let it sit for 15 minutes to a half hour. After we do that, we're going to take a small little strainer, and we're going to scoop out the solids, the curds, okay, like this, like this. It's going to look like this. Now, this is a small portion, okay, and it's going to look like this. This is what it's going to look like. Homemade ricotta. Now, you can eat this like this with fruit. You can eat this with cheese. You can put this in manicotti, cannelloni, ravioli. This is homemade ricotta. In Italy, they use gastric juices from the little calf. Here, you can use any acid. We're using vinegar, or you can use lemon. Okay, come in here, fast forward. While we wait for that, it's going to look like this. You're going to refrigerate it till it's solid. It's going to be really cold, okay? A couple hours till it's nice and cold. You're going to strain this with a little coffee filter in here. You're going to go like that. Take the coffee filter out. We come back to that. And this is how we made our cannolis. When we first made them in the 60s, we put rum and cinnamon in ricotta. It wasn't homemade. That's probably why I didn't like cannolis. I went to Boston and I went by a bakery and there was a line out the door and I wondered what it was for, and there were people lined out for the cannolis. So I went in there and got one, and it just totally changed my opinion of cannolis. And I was on a quest all these years to imitate what I tasted there in Boston. And I finally got it. I was getting different ricottas from Italian distributors, and then they all went out, and I said, forget it. I'm just going to make ricotta myself. You see how easy it is. I put almond extract, a little bit. Also, our secret was we put a little bit anisette extract, or actually the liqueur, but I don't have that here. And then sugar to taste, okay? Sugar to taste. And then you mix it. Now, I always did it in my KitchenAid because I liked it whipped. I like it whipped. That, my dears, is ricotta for the cannolis. I'm going to come over here, stir this. This is going to be ready to boil. We'll come back to this in a minute while we're waiting for this to boil. This goes back in the refrigerator. It's going to get a little bit more solid. When you're ready to make the cannolis, make sure you see the other two videos on how to make the dough and how to make the cannoli shells. Go like this. You can use a bigger one. And remember, we did 1 gallon to 1 quart. This is like 1/8 the size, okay? Keep going like this, go like this, like this, cut a hole, like this, watch. What do you have? Beautiful, miraculous cannoli. It's a lost art. There's no easier way to show you than the way I'm showing you. Now come over here quickly. I'll bring it to you. Look, see how this is coming, rising? You see this? Vinegar, about 1/4 cup. Now watch, now it's going to separate and you're going to see this. I'll bring it to you when it starts to separate. Okay, this is how you stuff it. Powdered sugar, Ghirardelli chocolate sauce on the sides. We used raspberry Lion's sauce. And there's your cannoli. I'm going to bring this to you again. I want to show you how the curds are separating. Look. You see that? That's ricotta. You see that? Okay. I'm going to let it boil a little bit longer. Maybe a minute. Again, look at it. Look. You see it? This is done. Was that easy? Now. Our #1 special dessert was the strawberry tiramisu, the strawberry cream tart. But the overall #1 dessert, took it by storm, we had every day, was the strawberry cannolis. Fresh strawberry cannolis. Everything was made from scratch. The ricotta, the shells. And the way you do that, I don't have them, I'm going to tell you how to do it. You get fresh strawberries and you cut them in like 4s or 5s, put them in a bowl, and then you put raspberry sauce by Lyons, raspberry sauce, and coat it. And then you put a couple scoops of the strawberries in the ricotta mix. Go like this, squeeze it, and pour it out. That was strawberry cannolis, the offshoot of homemade cannolis. Okay? This is set, it needs to set a little bit more, but I'd like to show you what it's going to look like when you scoop it out. You need to put a coffee filter in here. I don't have it, but like this. Look at this. Scoop it out. Homemade ricotta. You let it sit 15 minutes, half an hour, till all the water goes out. Let it come to room temperature. Put it in the refrigerator. Then when it's cold, put it in here. Sugar, almond, anisette if you want. And then put it until you're ready to use it. Come here in the bag, in this powdered sugar. You guys, it's a miracle. Nobody's doing it. God bless you.